even see it here in our Galveston camera. The camera wiggling just a bit, and that's because we've got gusty winds coming from the north. That's ushering in cooler weather. Now, this morning, actually, to start, waking up a bit warmer than this time yesterday. 41 here in Houston. Still going to need that jacket. But as we head into the afternoon, this is where you're really going to feel the difference. Temperatures slowly climbing through the 40s at the heat of the day, only making it into the mid 50s. Now, really, the colder air starts to funnel in as we head into the day on Saturday. And tomorrow morning, we are kicking it off with a cold weather advisory. That goes into place at 3 a.m., lasts until 10 a.m. on Saturday. That's because wind chills as low as 12 degrees. This is not even the coldest morning of the weekend. I'll talk about Sunday morning coming up. To feel a bit like rodeo season this time of year, we can be very cold or we can see temperatures get into the 80s, similar to what we see during the chili cook-off. But this morning, starting off with no big problems. Yesterday, we had fog problems. This morning, no issues, but the reason why is because winds are a bit breezier. Currently coming in from the north-northwest, that's behind the cold front that we saw yesterday. Actual air temperature sitting in the 30s and the 40s, 44 in Pearland. Our friends up in Washington County, good morning, 37 degrees in Brenham. If you're taking the kiddos out to the playground today, temperatures not going to warm up very efficiently. In fact, yesterday was in the mid 60s. Today, only climbing through the 40s into the mid 50s. Also, heads up for our allergy sufferers. If you suffer from cedar tree pollen like I do, take those medications. Every single time a cold front passes through this time of year, that's when we start to see our cedar tree spike. And as we head into the weekend, Bill, we're going to be seeing an Arctic front push in. As cold as we have been, temperatures to kick it off in the upper 30s and the lower 40s. But look what happens as we head this weekend. Sunday morning, waking up at 26 degrees. That is considered a hard freeze, which is why we're practicing with our P's. People, make sure you wear layers if you have to head outside Saturday, especially Sunday morning. Bring your pets inside through the evenings, both nights this weekend. Plants, I would certainly make sure they're covered up, especially Saturday night into Sunday morning. Those pipes, certainly a good idea to keep them wrapped as well. Make sure that sprinkler is also still drained. Finally, swimming pools. You need to keep your pump running continuously just in case we see that hard freeze last too long. Coming up, we'll talk about just how low those temperatures go. All right. Carolina only going to make it into the mid 50s, about 10 degrees cooler compared to what we saw yesterday. Overnight tonight, we are going to see temperatures once again drop to freezing right at 32 here in Houston. Areas to our north upper 20s. So we are going to be seeing a light freeze, which is why the Weather Service has issued a cold weather advisory. Factor in the winds and it can feel like the teens. That's from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Bundle up if you have to get outside. Now, the actual Arctic push of air, that's going to arrive on Saturday. Cold, breezy. Sunday 52, but what you'll notice both days, plenty of sunshine. That means it's not going to be anything like last weekend. Now, Sunday morning, we do have a freeze watch in place. This is when we're expecting temperatures to drop into that hard freeze territory. So this is when you need to protect the pipes, the people, the pets, the pools. I think I forgot one. The plants and the plants as well. Temperatures as we start off our Sunday, 26 here in Houston, areas to our north, 23 in Huntsville, 22 in College Station and Brenham. This is why we're concerned about the pipes here, because this is considered a hard freeze. Thankfully, you'll notice on because our cold front passed through, but temperatures actually warmer than what we saw yesterday. But let me show you what's moving in. Saturday, 32 degrees. By Sunday, 26 degrees. That is considered a hard freeze. Now, it's not going to last very long. We're only talking Saturday night until Sunday morning, but that 26 degrees can cause a lot of problems. This is why we're stressing you need to prepare with the P's. We talk about these every single time we get a hard freeze. It's the people, pets, plants, pipes, and your pools as well. So for people, this one's pretty intuitive. Wear layers, cover up your skin. Remember to check on your neighbors as well. Pets, you want to keep them warm and dry. Bring them inside, or if it's a larger animal, maybe a scratchy one instead of a furry one like a goat, give them shelter. You want to make sure you throw some hay in their stall. That way they have a bit more insulation. Plants, you want to cover them up because sensitive plants cannot survive a hard freeze. Pipes, drain those sprinklers. maybe they're already covered like mine. Just keep them covered. And finally, pools need to be running continuously. Bill, Sophia, coming up, I'll let you know what to expect in the afternoons.
All right, Carol.
This morning is that we've got gusty winds coming in from the north. Now, this is why we don't have any fog this morning, but it's also going to be ushering in that cooler air. You can see that cold front has passed through. It's now impacting our friends across southeast Louisiana, and that's why temperatures aren't going to warm up near as efficiently this afternoon. In fact, yesterday we made it into the mid 60s. Today, hardly making it into the mid 50s. You'll notice by noon still sitting at 46 at the heat of the day, mid 50s here in Houston with partly cloudy skies. As we head into this evening, the cold air really is going to settle in, and that's why waking up on Saturday morning here in Houston, right at freezing, 32 degrees, upper 20s to our north. This is why we have a cold weather advisory until 10 a.m. on Saturday. Factor in the winds, it can feel like the teens and the 20s. The more important morning that we're watching is going to be Sunday morning, where everybody is below freezing. That is going to bring temperatures in the mid 20s, which is when we're expecting that hard freeze. So Sunday morning, please be careful. Thankfully, as we go through the weekend, we are going to be seeing plenty of sunshine, only getting colder as we head into the weekend. So the first change you'll notice this morning, not dealing with any fog. We have been seeing winds gusting from the north. That's preventing us from seeing any of that fog. Actual air temperature not at freezing this morning, 30s to our north, 40s here in Houston. But as we head into the day today, that cold air is going to continue ushering in. You'll notice temperatures today, nothing like what we saw yesterday. In fact, only warming into the mid 50s. At 1 o'clock, forecast temperatures still going to be in the mid and upper 40s, so a chilly and cloudy afternoon. Now, as we head through the weekend, that cold air really is going to be settling in, which is why Saturday, even though we're going to have sunshine, forecast high temperature 44 degrees. That means most of our day is going to be spent in the 30s. Sunday, 52 degrees, and just from our highs, you wouldn't expect a whole lot of problems. The concern is going to be our freezing temperatures. Saturday morning, right around freezing. Sunday, waking up with a hard freeze here in Houston. Temperatures in the mid and lower 20s. Bill, Sophia, coming up, we'll talk about just how low those temperatures go.